We are going to go ahead and get into the topic of independent women.
I'm going to end up.
Are we the problem? What's our problem?
What's the pros? What's the cons? All around in a circle. We're here to discuss it with you today.
Yes. So let's start with, what do you want to start with? You want to start with a comment or what? Go ahead. You can start with a comment.
Okay, so we posted it on Facebook as usual.
As always.
Because everybody don't tune in, and sometimes you can catch people's attention with little jaggers like that, whatever. But either way, we posted on Facebook about women being independent. What are the pros? What are the cons? How do people feel about it, period? And we got nice, long comments.
Yes, comments. We appreciate you.
So the first comment we'll start off with is men want to dictate what an independent woman is. They want us to be independent under their terms. That's how one of the ladies felt. Now, justifiably such. It can be justified. But it also has its truths to it. Depending on the type of man that you're dealing with, I feel like when it comes to a man being scared of a woman's independence, it's because he isn't secure in his position as the man.
Yes.
Because there aren't many, as much as this independent woman word is thrown around, there aren't many independent women. In the sense of whole body, mind, heart. Because if you independent, you ain't looking for nothing either. And it's a lot of women out here looking for things from a man. So first, you got to know what type of independent woman that you're talking about.
Yep.
But the real type of independent woman definitely could be intimidating to a man, but it also be that intimidation should also make that man want her.
Yes, and that was a point in one of the articles that I had that said independence shouldn't make a man feel nervous or any less masculine. A woman's strength is not a threat to a man's masculinity. Furthermore, the need for independence doesn't rely on solidarity because it's not a matter of isolation. And I think that's when people look at it, they think you're independent and you want to be alone or you don't mind being alone. And I think, like somebody commented and mentioned, what are you adding? If you're not adding, you're ultimately subtracting. If we're not just all staying in the same place. So it's like if you're not adding, that's what men perceive to be. She want to be by herself, but she don't want nobody or need nobody. That's the thing with an independent woman. She doesn't need you, but she wants you. So you have to make yourself somebody that's wanted.
And if an independent woman wants you, that's a good thing. And
that's in the article. Yeah,
that's a good thing, and you should really grasp to that because, like we say a lot of times, the woman is a strong force in this world. And if you find an independent woman that wants you, that means she wants to not only be independent for herself, but she want to invest some of her independence in you.
Yes, and that's what the article was talking about. Like, you would take it more of an honor for a woman that has her own going on and wants to share her life with you. And I think that's where the misconception comes that she's not willing to open up and have somebody in her life. It's like, and that's something you got to be real with as a fella, as a dude. Maybe you just not matching her swag, and vice versa. That could go either way. If y'all not equally yoked, it's not gonna work.
Ain't it?
And Miss K. Fife says some women mistake their achievement and arrogance as independence. Independence is a wholeness.
Correct. And that's why when I first started talking, I said, it depends. The independent woman has a bad stigma because it's so broad and there's so many kinds of different independence. Because if you want welfare, if you want WIC or something, you're not independent. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no man. You need the government. You need my tax money. Woo. Like, you need me. Woo. Yes, you do. You need a lot. You're not independent. So that's what we were saying as far as it just being displayed wrongly by the wrong females to make it look like it's a problem.
So let's talk about what we think is independent. So when I think independent, I think of someone that they may not have everything or be doing the career they want to do or whatever, but I'm going to say mentally they are independent. Like, they're not, and this is another thing. Well, let me just
finish up. Yeah.
Mentally they are independent. They can stand on their own. They're not, they're mentally independent. Mentally independent. I'm going to keep it right there because I'm going to something else. Go ahead.
Yeah, but that's how I feel about it too, because independence doesn't always mean that you're perfect or that you have everything together or any of that, but independent really means like myself, me alone, I can figure it out. Whether that's me reaching out to somebody that I need the help from by myself, I'm independently doing what I need to do by myself. It's a mental state of mind first before it takes place.
And what I was going to say that I stopped myself was that when you think of independent, the word independent means it's basically you're not dependent on someone else. So when I think about people saying if somebody wants to have a complaint about an independent woman, and I use quotations because
we use that lightly.
Yes, right. Allegedly independent women, who wants a codependent person? Nobody wants a dependent person, like men or women. Nobody wants somebody that is constantly needy, to them. So maybe there's a middle ground, people really wish somebody to find, but let's not talk about independence as if it's so bad, because I feel like you would really be complaining if somebody was dependent. And the only man that wants a dependent woman usually is what you see in the movies with an abusive man. Like, he wants somebody that you need to tell them that it's good, and you need to, validate them. That's a mentally and
controlling.
Yes, mentally it's controlling, and you have low self-esteem, so nobody would really want that.
And one reason why I know that the term independent has been drawn out and that it's actually meant to represent a woman being a good thing when she's independent is because that's something most fathers tell their daughters to be.
Stay with it. That's on my list.
Like daddies, I'm gonna say daddies, they are fathers, but like my dad always told, me and my sister, like, you gotta have your own. You can't depend on no man to do nothing for you. Like, I'm a man. I'm going to keep it real with you. Like, it is what it is. You can't depend on no man because you put so much trust into not even a man, a person, a thing, a being, anything, and that thing can change any day. So the fact that you have to be self-involved is independence. And that's something that we grow up learning.
Yes, and I was going to say that because when you think about that's exactly how, oh my God, that's exactly how it's gotten a negative connotation because independence, when you hear somebody talk about it as a bad thing, it's a complaint of a standard they can't live up to. And the reason that all of that connects is because Charlamagne does it all the time when he has girls on his podcast, when they're talking about their life and their story. He say, did you grow up with a dad? Because he has 2 daughters. So if you grew up with dad, he wants to know, what did your dad tell you that made you think that? Because he wants to be a good example. So if you grow up with your dad and your dad has instilled on you that you need to be independent, he's there for you, whatever, you're going to naturally look for somebody. If you ain't matching my dad level, that's the man I know, type of thing. So that's why, when an independent woman is being used in a negative connotation, the man could be intimidated by the standard that the woman already has in her life or what a man is.
Right.
And somebody else mentioned that, I think, I don't want to quote it wrong, but it was something saying how an independent woman has really been, which is kind of the negative connotation, been resurfaced due to the lack of the black man taking responsibility. Not a black man, but just a man, maybe not being in the household, and then the woman has to take over, and then that could be how I was raised. My mom was my only parent I had, so now I'm independent, and then I don't know how to let a man, help me or whatever, which is
true. And that's why independent has so many different venues, and because now that you bring that up, that is something as black women, in the black community, a lot of black women are quick to say, I don't need a man, or aren't used to they didn't get the pep talk, right, when they were girls. So now they've grown to have their own personal thinkings and feelings about a black man. So they put up this guard, because sometimes people use the word independence as that's not the word. They're just guarded. Like, it's not about you being independent. You're just guarded and you don't know how to let nobody in. So you're blocking everything. So you don't want a man to help you. You don't want a man to do this. You don't want a man to do that. You want to take care of your kids by yourself. You want to be miserable in a sense, which is where the negative connotation of it all and the truth comes in, because that's not independent.
And, to that point, everything is within reason. Too much of anything is not good. So that's just like independent. If you're too loving, if you're too giving, you're going to get your feelings hurt sometimes. If you too standoffish, you ain't going to never meet anybody. So independence isn't a bad thing by any means, but you have to know when your independence can't be thrown in somebody's face as like, man, I don't need you, like that type of thing, because now you're belittling somebody based off of what you think is a strength of yourself, and you don't want to ever do that.
Which could definitely drive, in this case, a black man away and make him feel like you're too independent, because even a black man starts to see the word as the wrong thing.
Right. Okay, so comment on Facebook.
Yep. Another comment, oh, my thing screwed up. Okay, there it goes. That was what we just talked about. So, one comment said, I believe that first women dictated what an independent woman was or is, and dependency got confused with subservient.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that. So, yes. Well, that was the guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Subservient, yeah. So, first of all, let's talk about the definition of subservient. Prepared to obey others unquestioningly. Now, this is the one thing. Now, I'm not going to sit here and just all I'll say, I'm against being subservient. Mm-hmm. But what the guy has to realize is that when you are prepared to obey somebody unquestionably, you have to be trusted that I don't have to ask you any questions. Mm-hmm. That's just like when you with your dad. Your daddy say, don't worry about it, I got you.
Two-way street.
You gonna say, wait, but daddy, because you don't trust him, you don't know. But if you trust him, you can lead me. So I think there's a responsibility on the other part to make the woman feel that she could be subservient. Because you wouldn't, like I said, you wouldn't want a woman that's running around being subservient to everybody because now she's not mentally, stable.
And we got a comment that said that's for marriage. Yes, it is. And I think maybe he was saying it in a sense of qualities that you'll see in a woman to let you know.
And I think we're talking about independent women as they pursue right. Get a partner for life.
And that's things that are recognizable. If you are with a man or a woman and they won't ever let you lead in a sense, because I feel like granted the man is to lead, but I also feel in some senses when you know your woman is better in this area than you, you should allow her to lead.
Miss K5's question said, how you leading and we not sharing a household? So it's two things. So we're saying that we're talking about in the long run. So we're approaching this as independent women. Are we gonna be single forever? What's the problem? Are we the problem? So that's the aspect of that. But even if you take it out of being married and you're just dating somebody, just because you can make your own reservations don't mean, that's like go back to the courting thing. Just, you want a man to do that kind of stuff for you to quote unquote take the lead. But like Nelly P was saying, if he's not good at, organizing this, but I'm good at handling this, then we would split,
I mean, because that's when to say marriage, when you think in marriage, you don't know the person completely, granted, but there are things about them that allowed you to get to the place where you are with them. And a man that gets involved with an independent woman, if he sees that he can't lead her, she won't allow that, that's an issue, and he wouldn't be able to deal with that. Right. So it makes sense for him to say that a woman can't be, I'm going to say submissive, basically being independent.
Well, and I think submissive is the better word.
Yeah, I don't like subservient.
Subservient alludes more to subordinate. Like, more of, what was the word on here? Less important. That was an acronym used for it.
And that's
so
not
subservient, it alludes to more of a, demeaning.
Of a man being the highest, and that's it.
Yeah, and like, really, it's like a little thing old people say, you let the man think he in charge type of thing. So that's more submissive. Like, when you trust him to lead you, but if y'all get to a certain, you're like, hold on. You highly suggest we do this.
Right.
That's submissive when you're in a partnership, but subservient just kind of
subservient.
I can't
Comment said it sound like a slave. Subservient.
Yeah, because it makes me think I can't do it if you wasn't here. And that's not what we say.
And Miss K5 said, I can see where y'all going. Like trusting and giving way to have each other to show your gifts in a relationship. Correct. Right. Yes. We do.
We're all on the same page.
We knew you was gonna pull.
Okay, so one of the comments that I had was one of the problems is that independent women have tunnel vision. There's no need for a man, so sometimes they overlook some possible good situations. That is true. You have a thought? Okay.
I'm listening to you.
Okay, because I have a thing that correlates to that. So that's very true, which is kind of how we were talking about people moving on fast. Are these women just open to meeting more guys and thinking, I could date him. He could be funny, but it doesn't look like her type. That could be a thing. But in the article, one of the reasons it was saying it's hard to date a independent woman is because time is valuable. Her time is valuable. And basically it alluded to a sense of independence is equal to a level of ambition. So what I value, if I value my time, I am doing things that are going to hopefully
be beneficial to
my life. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't proven to, and I'm not saying like, if you haven't proven worthy for me to maybe not do what I've been trying to do every day on Mondays, I said I was going to do this every Monday, now you want to go eat on Monday, maybe she's not going to say she's going to go with you because she's focused on doing this because she said she set her goal and she's going to do it. So that's tunnel vision. When you focus and you have ambition, that's tunnel vision. But then also the article went in to say, like we were saying before, how that's why you should be even more honored by a woman that wants to share her life with you, because she has goals and things she's trying to get done. So if she's willing to, I don't want to say let you on for the ride because y'all are sharing it, but that should show that you up to par, baby.
Right. And we do have a question. Can you be submissive and independent? Like, is that possible?
Yeah.
Yes, it's very possible. And that's the thing I say when men have the word misconstrued.
Right.
But it's very possible because Americans, I don't know how long you've been listening. If you listen the whole time, I don't know, whatever.
But Americans have been listening the whole
time. But how Pierre said at the beginning, being independent is a mental state, and it's just to know. It's not to act like I don't need you. It's to know that if anything was to make this quote unquote relationship, because that's what you're speaking of, if anything was to make this not work, I wouldn't be begging for you. I wouldn't be helpless. I wouldn't not know how to change my tire. I wouldn't need to, I could still survive.
And the submissive definitions, which it just starts off great. Ready to conform to the authority or will of others. See? So you may be independent, but when somebody comes in, you're ready. You're ready, right? Be submissive. And I think another thing is to go with the want and the need. How I can do it by myself, but if you're here, that's great. It kind of goes. It's kind of the same as any relationship. Like we all want to are hopefully right now independent of our mother. We're not. Asking them to make our lunch and they're not picking out our clothes or whatever. But if my mother passed away tomorrow, I would need her, So it's like I can live without her, but I choose not to. Right. So, Javon.
That was good.
Honey.
You walked into that. Virtue Defined said, I'm very independent, but I am learning how to shut up and listen when need be because he has earned they cut it off. Probably trust.
He earned. He did.
Right. And that's what it's about. And it's about, so really it's about, is the man capable to build this level of trust to allow this woman to be submissive? Because we're ready. We're ready to have a man that we listen, we quote unquote listen to.
Because I think there's a small portion of independent women that are legit stubborn. Like I think that majority of the independent women are low key just waiting to be wowed. It's not I'm gonna show you I don't need nobody. It's a show me that I need you.
Right? Because we want that feeling.
Right.
That's the thing.
Everybody watches romantic
the
movies.
Real independent woman wants that feeling. I'm not really too wowed by the people that say they don't need nobody.
Right.
Because it doesn't make any sense.
We all want somebody. Right. We all want to be validated.
It doesn't make sense at all for you to not feel like you don't need the opposite sex. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. We were all wired in a way to where we would long for a man and a man would long for a woman, and to have that relationship that can't be tampered with, that nothing can amount, nothing can attest, nothing can do anything to.
But what we don't need is somebody that's not going to be doing that.
Right. And if you get to the place where you are in your independence realm, and here comes Brother Bojangles, and that's all he can give you is Bojangles, then we're not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? It just makes sense. Like, if you can't be compatible with what I'm doing, more so, even if, let's not even say if you can't be compatible with what I'm doing. If you can't be a supportive being in my independence, it's nothing we got to talk about. Because not all the time are a man and a woman on the same level. Maybe the man has trumped the woman or vice versa. But either way, the thing is to show the support. Not the jealousy, not the I can't take it, not the I'm not where I want to be. No.
Right. And like I said, we're talking about this in terms of a woman and a man, but that's any relationship. Like you don't want a friend that's not happy for you just because they're not doing what they want to do. And I think too, the same thing goes with the friend when you were saying, what was you just saying? I forgot. Jesus. What was you just? No, I don't know. It might come back to me.
Well, either way. You got to have a person that's going to hold you down in your independence. And men are independent. Men are very independent. Like, mentally, in a sense, because...
No, I was going to say that shit.
Go.
I was going to say that we give women so much slack, and I hate to pull the whole gender roles and society thing out, the card out, because... but we give women so much slack because they're expected to be, like she was saying, Shonda Rhimes was saying, abnormal, less than, So we give women so much slack, but I know more men that don't want to be in a relationship than women. So it's like, are women getting penalized because we have standards and can possibly survive on our own? Oh my God. You know, like, a man just naturally want to be alone and nobody judging him.
Mm-hmm.
We don't say he's too independent for a woman.
We say, oh, he just need to get it out his system. He gonna find somebody. Or, oh, he just need to. No, because you can't make excuses for one and not make excuse for the other.
America said, but I like Bojangles.
And Americans, I like Bojangles too. So, granted, if he
First
is
of all,
bringing me that,
Americans, welcome back.
if he is bringing me that Bojangles, don't get it twisted. He gonna be good for a couple of weeks now.
Virtue Define said men are more so stubborn.
Yeah.
Miss K5 said, I think women do a better job of being independent and vulnerable.
Yes.
Oh, wait, that's on my list. So one of the points she made was it's a key to finding balance.
Mm-hmm.
And it said we may fear vulnerability, we may be difficult at times, stubborn or unwilling to budge in specific ways. We may not express a need for you, but simply a desire and a choice to share our life with you. And that's what we've been saying this whole time.
It's all a choice. It's all a decision. And if we're so independent in our space, if that word, how it's taken out of context, if it was really true, you wouldn't have our number. And you wouldn't know that I was too independent.
Right. And I think that they were talking about, too, how, you know, traditionally we want the man to, you know, approach you, be chivalrous. You know, we talk about is chivalry dead a lot. And if a person doesn't appreciate your gentleman tendencies and being chivalrous, she's not independent, she's rude. Yes. Like, that's what we're walking the line of. Yeah, that's rude because that's if an old man open your door for you. If she don't want, that's not independent. That's rude, you know. So or ungrateful, either way.
And America said men equate vulnerability
you said that
to weakness. And
the last time,
and it makes sense. But
Americans, you said that the last time when I talked about my vulnerability. Maybe this wasn't on the show. Maybe this was in. I think it was both. I think it was on the show and it was in person. But vulnerability should be for a man and a woman because it's a healthy emotion. And I'm not preaching because I know. Yeah. I'm preaching because
she's learning.
Yes. So it's like when you're vulnerable, like the people say, the person that did the study on vulnerability say, whenever you ask somebody what they love, they tell you what they hate first. Mm-hmm. And, you know, vulnerability is, if you tell me what you love, you kind of laid it out for me. And people don't want to be that open and let everybody know about them so quick. So it's like women and men to be in I'm not saying men walking around being vulnerable to everybody. But when you're in a relationship, there has to be a level of vulnerability because if not, I'm getting nothing more than the person that I order from at Bojangles, you know?
It has to be. And vulnerability is the emotion that sustains.
Yeah.
That's what sustains.
And it takes
vulnerability is just about around communication. Because you can't communicate your vulnerable side if you can't communicate. You can't say how vulnerable you are if you can't be vulnerable. Like, it just goes hand in hand. But for some comments.
Virtue Define said, until they find the right woman that shows them the strength in their vulnerability, because in return, trust is built. And let me tell you something
talk
else.
Like you engaged.
Right. And let me tell you something else. A woman, now I ain't saying you gotta be crying all the time, but a woman that loves you
will be expressive.
And she's not going to judge you for being vulnerable. She's probably begging you to be vulnerable.
You to say
and once you show that you're vulnerable and show that side to her, now she feels so much more
secure and safe.
She holds a piece
place,
of you.
Yes, because you let her in that space.
So Americans, if you're having
relationship issues, maybe it's because you're not being vulnerable.
Right. I feel bad for you, son.
Got 99 problems. Vulnerability ain't one.
Ladarius said a man would rather be wanted than needed, so nothing wrong with independent women. Well, a man should. Yeah, that's what I said.
And that's where it don't make sense.
Right.
Because it's like, bruh, I want you to. Like, right. I want you. So why is my independence at question about what I want with you?
That need gets old.
Yes, the need is not.
And you talking about spending your life with somebody, that need will get old. And
you gotta want.
Yeah, and when you say an independent woman, first of all, this is how you know women can be independent and submissive all at the same time. If a stay-at-home mom, she can't be submissive while her husband at work. She gotta be running stuff, get the kids to school, get them to practice, all that
stuff. Make breakfast, make lunch, make dinner,
maybe everything. She gotta pay some bills. She gotta do all the stuff she gotta do. And she don't want to you don't have to worry if you go out of town or while you at work and stuff getting done. Mm-hmm. You know, so when you're dealing with somebody that may not, like we read this article about this woman, long story, her husband got in a fight and got killed, but she had no life outside her husband. She looked for him for all her validation, and when he died, she literally
didn't know what to do with herself.
I mean, she was all over the place. So it's like, you don't want somebody that's identity is defined by you.
Mm-hmm. You don't want that.
Because first of all, it becomes a bear on you.
So really, the independence should really be a characteristic in a woman that a man should look for.
Hello.
We're going to help somebody today. Y'all better go find y'all the right independent woman. And I had something to say, but it went away when you got real good into going.
Okay, well, I have another comment that says, One thing that was noticed with independent women is that their pride is too high.
And that's another thing when I feel like that's arrogance. So that's not necessarily that the person is being independent. That's what they're calling it. But you really cocky, you arrogant, and you think you somebody and somebody need to knock you off your horse. And there are women like that just as well as it's men like that. But we talking about women today. So y'all get off y'all high horse. Because granted, that independent woman that thinks she's independent, her man might have been in her face for forever. And
let's not confuse independence either with somebody that's just not interested.
That
because
too.
You might, if I'm not attracted to you, doesn't mean that I'm too good and I don't need nobody. I'm independent.
That just means I'm genuinely not attracted.
Right. You know, we're talking about somebody, you're attracted to them, y'all are going along nicely, but you are independent and you don't need him. Now you might be missing out on your blessing because you ain't even trying it.
And that's ignorant.
Right.
Because you're not independent.
Basically.
At that point. Like, you just being stupid. And I really wish I knew what I wanted to say.
We'll go back to the comments.
But we do got some more comments. Independent black women need to have balance, still have higher goals, and want to be very successful, but at the same time, willing to adapt to life-changing roles. So balance is the key for an independent woman. Now, as far as the man must know what an independent woman doesn't want, the things she can provide on her own, but wishes to have with him. Yes, okay. And he's married.
Yeah, that's good.
So the key is balance. That will help a man not feel intimidated, because men do feel intimidated by an independent woman.
That's true.
And
go ahead.
Yeah, I really like what he said when he said she can do everything for herself. Like what we already said, we can do whatever we need to get done by ourselves, but we want you.
Yeah.
And when we want you, that means we want you to do those things that we could do for ourselves, but we want you to do them. I could change my tire by myself, but do I want to be on the side of the road doing it? No. I want to be able to say, hey, babe, my tire, can you please come do it? And I want to be able to assist him if need be, but he get down like the man and do it.
Yeah, here's an example that people probably don't like, but it's an example because that's just like women that take their men shopping. They can go shop by themselves. They know what they look good in. They don't need, they don't need you, but they want you to tell them that they look good. I don't go shopping with my man. I don't know about this, but I would imagine, they can pick a girlfriend to go to the mall with, but they want to go with their boyfriend, and I know guys hate it, but that's just a really simple, everyday example of a woman that could do, she could do it alone, but she don't want to.
And it's like, because she wants you to be like, oh, they look cute, or she wants to know what you like her in. That's another thing. She's taking your feelings, your likes into consideration because she want to make sure in some space in her head, like when she wear this, I know my man love me in this outfit. That's a caressing feeling. Ooh, God, caressing.
But I like that he talked about knowing what she wants and what she wants to build with you.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, if we're talking marriage, it's a partnership and a commitment for the long run. So hopefully we all trying to build something. So it's kind of like, I can't imagine a guy that, I would say a guy that doesn't want somebody's input, but maybe doesn't want you to have an input. That's not even like a real guy. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't, because you shouldn't be in a marriage if you're just trying to do what you want to do your way or the highway. So the independent woman who's going to give you her opinion whether you like it or not, I feel like is the woman you want to be with.
And I also like the whole phrase he said, life-changing roles. Because that independence woman, and PR even said this already too, an independent woman wears so many hats. That means she has different roles that she turns on and she turns off, but she knows how to function with it.
And I have said this before on previous episodes, but women, we just have we gotta be this and we gotta be cute and you have to be nice and you have to be strong, but you have to be stern, but don't be a bee and do it. And I have to look nice while I do it. Child, I'm breaking the
I gotta wear heels?
Talking about it.
I gotta wear heels?
No, for real.
Jesus.
Some days.
I can't wear sneakers or then I'm gay.
Right.
Jesus.
God forbid I forget my earrings.
We on a date. Lord, I can't take it. But
yes, it's a very demanding role to be a woman in this day and age, and find somebody, I guess.
And one of the guys was saying, he used the example, I don't know if y'all watch Black Ink, but Duchess wants her shop in North Carolina, and
I just watched that one episode.
C's is still in his shop is in New York, but Duchess, she wanted him to be the man, but she also wanted him to move to where she was. So it's kind of like you have to know.
push and pull.
Yeah, you got balance.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Because in the end, he ended up seeing how important it was to her and that she wanted him to be there, but she still wanted it to be, you know, her thing. But it was kind of like at her grand opening, I want you to be by my side, stand behind me, you know, whatever, because...
Hello, why not? Right.
No comment?
Not nothing that we ain't already toggled around.
Do we have any comments on Mixlr?
But I just feel like it's a great thing when you find a woman that fits the true definition of independence. And I feel like that also comes with maturity on both women and men. That comes with maturity on what that exactly is. But I think it's a great thing once it really is displayed and seen and noticed. When you see an independent woman, you should be like, dang, bro. And I have a friend that...
Wait, while you're talking, I have a question for the guys. Have y'all dated I don't say dependent, but just a person that you felt like was not independent? And how was that? What was the problem? What did you notice? Go. Somebody better respond.
And I have a friend that he flocks to that. Like, a woman that looks like she's good without me, like, it's like a turn on for him. It's like, because I want her to want me. Like, he gets it. He gets the fact that, and if she don't want me, I know it's not because she too independent. She just really don't rock with me. But I'm still going to hit her up. I'm still going to say funny stuff. I'm still going to shoot my shot for fun because who knows? You never know when that attraction might spark.
And I could be wrong because I'm not a guy. But I would feel like an independent woman, you know, is more certain of things. And you maybe not... I mean, I'm sure it's still going to be normal boundaries of a woman and a man communicating. But I would just imagine an independent woman to be more sure of things that she wants, doesn't want, likes, you know, doesn't like. And it's not going to be as much as a mystery game and a, you know, guessing game.
And to the question you asked, Darius said he had a girl that was not independent and it made him not want to be wanted. I mean, needed.
Right.
Which means she was annoying.
Right.
Because then it becomes a point where it's like, dang, you can't do nothing for yourself? Then you asking that question. So then the independent chick that you might have passed up, not you, Ladarius, I'm just speaking hypothetically. The independent chick that the guy might have passed up, then he gets with this other chick, and it's like, dang, you see what you had was really what was good, right. But it ain't never greener on the other side. That's just
I mean, I just think everybody really, I'm not gonna say everybody, but the people that listen to our show and other sane individuals want an independent person, whether you're a man or a woman. You know, I don't want a man. I talked to a dude before when I was in college, and he didn't have an extracurricular, nothing, and I was on the dance team. And it's like, I got stuff to do. Like, I don't have time to call you because I left practice and I'm about to go to study hall, or about, you know, and it's like, but you just waiting. You waiting by the phone. So it's like, people that don't have their own thing going on whether you're a man or a woman, it doesn't work well unless the other person is just as equally dependent, and then y'all just become inseparable, you know, people.
True enough.
I agree. Did I have another comment? Oh, it did talk about being romantic. So, like, the article started off saying that some women dream of their wedding day, and the girl that wrote it was like, I wasn't that person or whatever, which is kind of real because I didn't start thinking about weddings until we started getting married. And he was saying that just because somebody isn't, like, over romantic doesn't mean that they want to be alone. Like, sometimes I always say I'm a realist, which could go in any aspect. Like, I'm optimistic, but I also know I'm realistic. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like that's the same thing when you're talking romantic. It's the difference between what you see in the movies and what could really happen. Some girls really want the stuff they see in the movies. You know, some people, I'm more of a music person. I want what I hear in the music. You know, so it's like just because a person isn't overly romantic and I don't say affectionate, but maybe what you would think doesn't mean that the person doesn't need you, because the article pointed out that love is a unique experience. It's all how people meet is different than the other person, how people get married, how people have kids, how they grow. So it only makes sense that how somebody understands it and how somebody, you know, how they match and what they want is going to be unique. So you can't put everybody in a box about what's independent, what's not, what's romantic, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm. And it's just as the independent woman who can come off very feisty, who can come off as I won't submit to nobody, attitude, whatever. I came off at many guys many different ways. But all the actions that I have exemplified that they may not have liked, in the same sentence, they liked it.
Oh, yeah, because ain't nobody ever told me I was feisty while they were mad. They're like, oh, you feisty, huh?
Mm-hmm.
With
and
a smirk on their face. I'm like,
right, and it's like initially,
maybe not enough.
Right, and it's like initially the independence pops them in the face off guard because they certain women you look at, you don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, like I went out with this guy and I said one thing. He said, "Oh, she got that snap."
Right, so it's
I'm like, what? You just asked me that I want to eat here, and I said no.
Right, so it's like once they hear it. The man in them, because it's two faces. It happens really quick. I see it all the time.
Yes.
It's two faces that the man give you when you are this independent, quote unquote, feisty attitude girl. It's the mad face, but that mad face that with the raised lip, like, turns into a smile like, dang, I like you. And it's like, dang, I thought you wasn't going to like me.
Right, yeah.
I thought that was going to make you walk away.
I used to say that all the time. It's like a gift and a curse. Like, I'm being myself. But you are like turned on, but I'm serious. I'm not flirting, so it's like.
And one of our listeners said, Piera, the way you talk that independent-ish is romantic, woman.
Who is that? Janelle, why don't you ever tell me who these
I'm just telling you what they said.
Okay.
It's not for me to tell who it is. It's just for me to say say what they said.
Okay, well, my closing remark is that to wrap this all together with Black Girls Rock, Independent, all that, it's great. Shout out to all the independent women that, have their own goals and are aspiring. And hopefully, one day want to find somebody to match they fly. But to the women who, there is a group of women who are faking the funk. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes women, like we talked about, not knowing what independence is, they think it's independent because they playing this game, and I ain't gonna call him back, but you really want him, and then when you get with him, you're dependent, and now he's like, he thought you were independent, but really you were just, acting like you didn't need him, and it's like, as women, we should want for ourselves. We should want for ourselves, and hopefully we find somebody to live the rest with, as opposed to, let me trick him, get with him, and then if he go left, I'm starting over and, oh my God, I don't know nothing other than him because that was your end goal. So it's like, we got to do better. We can't live like that. Because really at the end of the day, you're tricking yourself, playing yourself. Mm-hmm.
And you don't ever want to get played, but you never want to play yourself. When you play yourself, that's worse than the smack in the face by the next man, like a man, literally.
That's very true.
So that's how we feel about independent women. Shout out to all the real life independent women that know the definition of it, that's out here trying to get it, and that will soon have that person that's found their independence.
Yes, invite us to the wedding.
Attractive. We will host it. Literally, the reception.
For real.
We will get up there and rock the house. Gig. Sure won't.
Okay, so quote of the week. I got this from Shonda Rhimes. It's very simple, but it really resonated with me. And she said, you have a right to the universe. And she basically was saying, anything you want to do, anything you can imagine, you have the right. This is your world just as much as it's anybody, you could say any white person's world or any man's world. But you have the right to, do what you want to do. If you haven't seen it done before, do it. If you something that you've seen done before but you're scared to do it, do it. You have every right to, live to your fullest self and follow your purpose. And so, Black Girls Rock. I mean, for real.
Black Girls Rock and the whole universe phrase. We are here. We all are capable.
Shout out to Martika. We love the universe.
We all are capable. When you throw it out there, it's coming back. You write it down. You make it plain. Black woman, black man, white, chocolate, orange. I don't care what color you are. You write it down. You make it plain. You put it out in the quote-unquote universe. It will come back to you.
Yes.
It will come back to you 100-fold if you continue to do exactly what you need to do. If you're an independent woman, we rock with you. Independent men, Black Girls Rock, whatever. It's Friday. It's about to be 7 o'clock. Y'all got time to turn up. Y'all got time to have a good night, a good weekend.
Yeah, we wrapping up a little early, so y'all got like 6 extra minutes.
Yeah, y'all got like 6 extra minutes to go and rock out. We're going to rock out this weekend. We're going to have a good time. Don't worry about where we're going to be at. Y'all see you later.
But
we
we'll be back
appreciate
next
y'all.
week. We don't know the topic yet, but we'll be back.
If y'all have any suggestions,
please hit us up. And we still taking peep game questions too. If y'all have a question that y'all just want us to give our opinion on, at the beginning of the show, we'll do that too. And don't forget, when we post stuff, please comment or share it. Subscribe to our YouTube page. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Fair Game be popping on Fridays.
Fair Game always be popping on Fridays. We love y'all. This is Fair Game.
I'm Piera Javon.
I'm Nelly P.
Life's not fair.
But we are. Hey.